Hi, a pleasant welcome to CBN4's Primetime News Package today. I'm the presenter, Alian Christopher. And making the top stories today. The Met Office announces a delayed start of the 2018 wet season. And the $3.8 million road in Goodwill is now motorable. Stay tuned for these and other stories when CBN4's Primetime News Package returns. We'll be right back.
Sweet talk, dear man, never lot of that. Yes, I. You don't know it's your boy Trilogy, urging everybody, young and old, to stay strong and stay healthy. You don't know we're doing it for 2018. Boom.
And welcome back. The Dominican Meteorological Office have announced that less rainfall than normal is expected for the 2018 wet season. Officially, Dominica's wet season, which coincides with the Atlantic hurricane season, runs from June 1st to November 30th each year. This year, models indicate a delay in the onset of the wet season. Climatologist at the Met Office, Ernie Carrett Joseph, said a decrease in the frequency of wet days and wet spells is anticipated for the first half of the season.
There are no drought concerns for the island at this time for both short-term and long-term. Short-term meaning between March to August, and long-term covers December 2017 to November 2018. At least one 7-day dry spell is expected for the first half of the season.
Cooler day and nighttime temperatures are also anticipated for the first half of the season, with some uncertainties at this time for the second half. Heat wave chances are also said to be increasing towards the middle of the wet season.
Climatologically, Dominica's wet season accumulates approximately 9 to 1,600 millimeters along the west coast and 1,200 to about 1,900 millimeters along the eastern coast, with higher amounts in the elevated regions. Usually temperature ranges from 27 to 28 degrees Celsius during the day, with an average maximum of about 30 to 32 degrees Celsius, while nighttime temperatures usually fall between 24 to 25 degrees Celsius. One of the main drivers for the first half of the season is the near average sea surface temperatures around the region and below average sea surface temperatures across the Eastern Atlantic near West Africa. This normally results in a reduction in evaporation, leading to drier air and fewer atmospheric instability, which in turn results in a tilt towards slightly drier conditions, particularly in the Lesser Antilles.
Dominica's 2017-2018 dry season accumulated higher rainfall amounts than normal, with typical day and nighttime temperatures. Cooler sea surface temperatures in the equatorial Eastern Pacific was the main driver for the season, resulting in an increase in rainfall activity. And as promised by the Minister of Public Works, Honorable Dr. John Colin McIntyre, Charles Avenue is now motorable. The minister made this statement when he toured the project last week. Fernie James has more.
Roughly 2 months ago, CBN4 visited this site to bring you up to date as far as completion works on Charles Avenue, locally known as Hospital Road. Minister for Public Works, the Honorable John Colin McIntyre, stated last week that by last Saturday the road would be functional. CBN4 is following up on the project. Pedestrians and users of the road will now enjoy its upgrades. It is now larger, with 2 sidewalks and of course a shoulder on the side that is closest to the hospital. The shoulder will be used for dropping off and picking up of persons by passenger buses.
McIntyre urged Dominicans to take ownership of this road as it was financed by the Highway Maintenance Levy.
Early on, people must feel a sense of ownership of this project because their money actually contributed to this project. So we're looking at ownership. But right now we are just about to end it in terms of we're going to go up till about this weekend. By Sunday, I was told that this road will be motorable and we can really use this road properly. So
the Charles Avenue Rehabilitation Project was awarded to Offshore Civil and Marine Incorporated to rehabilitate over 500 meters of road. And today, June 19th, is World Sickle Cell Day. UNESCO has designated June 19th as World Sickle Cell Day. This year, the Sickle Cell Cares Foundation is continuing to raise awareness about the disease and supporting those affected. This year, the foundation is commemorating this day by raising awareness about the disease through its social media campaign, #IamSickleCell. For the last 5 years, as part of its humanitarian and patriotic responsibility, the Sickle Cell Cares Foundation has provided a range of services for sickle cell disease clients and their families that includes general awareness, counseling services, and education to assist clients in learning about their illness, methods of disease control, and pain management. The foundation is also engaged in educational presentations and seminars for medical, educational, health and human service professionals and the general public, support group activities, and the promotion of educational and recreational normalization activities. And stay tuned, we'll be back with more news right after this break. We'll be right back.
Sweet talk, dear man, have a lot of that. Yes, I. You don't know it's your boy Trilogy, urging everybody, young and old, to stay strong and stay healthy. You don't know we're doing it for 2018. Boom.
And welcome back. The Spices Learning Center on Monday celebrated OECS Day 2018 with a family project where the family were to present something about an OECS island that the students would be able to say. Principal of the Spices Center, Constance Norris, said that her institution has been observing OECS Day in collaboration with the Dominica Association of Teachers from 2009.
At OECS, we are having it as a school setting. Normally we would have it as an open house with different schools involved, other early childhood institutions involved. But this year every school is responsible for organizing their OECS Day. And our theme to this year, we are looking at OECS itself. If you notice, we are OECS, and they're saying they are OECS. I am OECS, the children. We did it as a family project this year, where the family had to get together, and each of the children were placed in different OECS islands, and the family had to present something on the OECS island, which the children would be able to say. So they had to do it as an home assignment, where they did three-dimensional things or posters, whatever it is, and then on Saturday we had a family day, and the family came together and they presented their activity for OECS Day, which.
And here are the students making their presentations on OECS Day.
This is the nation of St. Kitts and Nevis. It's known for its forests and mountains. It has white, black, grey sand beaches in St. Kitts. The capital of St. Kitts is Basia, and the capital of Nevis is Charlestown. Keith Mitchell has been the Prime Minister of Grenada for 5 years. The dove is Grenada's national bird. Dominica, why to come where is them done? Long so lovely, my heart and Dominica. Dominica.
And that was students of the Spices Learning Center making their presentation on OECS Day. Program Officer at the Office of Disaster Management, ODM, Donaldson Frederick, recently represented Dominica and the ODM at a workshop in Cuba relating to research and linking research to disaster risk reduction. According to Frederick, knowing that Dominica was severely impacted by a Category 5 hurricane, the participants at the workshop were curious in knowing some of the lessons learned and what are the climate change adaptation measures that Dominica will be taking after such major impacts, and how we can assist them in also taking some of these climate change adaptation measures to implement within their country.
Brought together a number of participants from the Caribbean. So we had participants from Barbados, Guyana, Trinidad, going all the way up to Puerto Rico. And the objective of the workshop, as I said, is to link research with disaster risk reduction and that of climate change adaptation. So for us,
Frederick says that the workshop was an important event, as reports for this year's hurricane season states that it will be very wet.
Important, and based on research, the information that they're sending out is that this hurricane season will be very wet. And when I say very wet, I mean that around the eye wall of the hurricane, there will be a lot of water, a lot of moisture. So what does that say for us is, if we were to be impacted, whether a direct hit or a close hit outside of Dominica, but in close proximity where we will experience tropical storm wind, it means that we'll be getting a lot of rain, okay? A lot more rain than what we experience in Mario. So it tells us if there's more rain, then there will definitely be flooding. If there's more rain, it means that persons lying in low-lying areas, people living in low-lying areas, people living close to waterways, ravines and rivers, they must move. They must evacuate into a safe place, to a safe place. No longer we can say they should move. We now need to say they must move. And we want the entire public to take heed of that, because a lot of the persons who got affected during Mario were persons living close to the waterways and in low-lying areas, and they did not take heed when the warning was issued. and so they were impacted. And so areas or waterways that were not impacted, they look very decent and nice. We need to be careful, we need to be more vigilant, and persons in those areas, they will need to move if there were to be an impact of any hazard like the hurricane.
As a result of this year's wet season, the program officer further stated that persons with buildings close to waterways may be affected. And also in the news, both the male and female beach volleyball teams of Dominica are set to represent the country at the 2018 Youth Olympics in Argentina this October. The teams participated in the quarterfinals held in Antigua last weekend, and the men, who also secured a place at the Olympics, looked not just to win but to practice competitively. For the women, however, every hope of securing a place rested on winning the qualifier. Both teams would go down to St. Lucia in their first matchup. The Dominican men were stopped at the quarterfinals, but the women, Adicia Burton and Ethelyn Lockhart, pressed on to beat Grenada 21-13, 21-19 to the semi-finals, where they also defeated Antigua 21-14 and 21-12. The victory in sight, the ladies sought to redeem themselves as they met St. Lucia again in the final race of the Olympics. The final match would see 2 medical timeouts by the Dominica women, but their focus and determination made them victorious over St. Lucia 10-21, 22-22 and 15-18. And with that, we come to the end of today's Primetime News package. On behalf of the entire CBN4 staff, I am Alan Christopher saying thank you for watching, and do join us again next time.